So a magician walks into a laboratory. This isn't the start of a joke that you might recognize, it's the title of a CIA document, part of the Stargate document collection. Have you ever pondered the idea of a person's aura? Ever had an aura reading? Ever had someone describe the shape and color of your aura? This concept isn't unfounded mysticism. The technology exists that can see and capture a person's aura. This was pioneered by a Soviet researcher named Semyon Kurlian, who developed techniques to photograph the coronal discharge of living beings. Historically, a gap has existed between the Western world and regions like Russia. Discoveries from the East often take decades, even centuries, to reach the West. When they do, they are often dismissed by Western researchers. This is regrettable. Russian scientists have advanced insights into paranormal and psi phenomenon, while their Western peers cling to materialism. They overlook concepts such as the ether and the power of consciousness. The Kurlians shared their findings in 1958, yet remained largely unknown until Lynn Schroeder and Sheila Ostrander published Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain in 1970. Post-publication, Kurlian photography gained some recognition, but Western scientists showed little interest. Places like Kazakh State University and the UCLA's parapsychology lab were, however, intrigued. Speaking of intriguing topics, consider the ancient ritual of laying on of hands. This practice is noted as one of Jesus Christ's 6 fundamental doctrines. According to the Bible, it enabled him to perform miraculous healings. This ritual is particularly fascinating if we view the universe as electric in nature, where everything, even consciousness, appears to be electromagnetic. So how does the ritual of laying on of hands relate to Kurlian photography or auras exactly? In the 1960s, a remarkable figure named Alexei Krivoritov healed patients through the laying on of hands. In Russia, he was well known as a psychic healer. This self-taught magician attracted the curiosity of various experts, including Mr. and Mrs. Kurlian, who sought to understand the divine nature behind his miraculous abilities. How did Kurlian end up looking into such subjects? Back in 1939, Semyon Kurlian worked as a mechanic in Krasnodar Hospital. Renowned for his skill in fixing electrical equipment, he was frequently called upon by local scientists and labs. One evening, while repairing a high-frequency current generator, he noticed different discharges between his palm and forearm. Was this a mere coincidence? It felt necessary to document this oddity, perhaps with a photograph. However, under bright light, the discharges became invisible. He set the camera aside on the table, where an insulating sheet awaited, which lay on an electrode made of metal and a glass photographic plate. After insulating himself with a rubber mat, Kurlian connected a second electrode to his hand and pressed his palm against the photoemulsion. As a precaution, he had asked a medical student to observe before he had engaged this high-frequency circuit, but a jolt surged through him, prompting the student to disconnect the circuit. A slightly painful shock received, but mission accomplished. Upon developing the plate, a hazy image emerged, revealing the silhouette of the hand with bones visible against the backdrop. Yet this wasn't an X-ray, but a photograph displaying a biological object amidst RF currents. The initial photographs of this mysterious phenomenon resembled traditional out-of-focus images. The discharge gap played a crucial role in dictating the focal distance. How could one create such a tiny gap without sacrificing accuracy? Engaging in a series of experiments with his wife, Valentina, Kurlian placed a thin fabric between the object and photoplate. The resulting images were clearer, but only hinted at the electromagnetic threads. They attempted using metal foil, which proved too rigid to maintain micron gaps. Eventually, they devised a water electrode using wet cotton to make the photoemulsion conductive. Undoubtedly, many experiments led to 17 patents in the emerging field of electromagnetic photography, unlocking a portal to an unseen realm. After developing this photo process, they were approached by botanists who requested the Kurlians photograph 2 visually identical leaves from the same plant. Surprisingly, The electrical fields of the green twins appeared entirely different. Upon investigation, phytopathologists discovered that one was damaged from microorganisms, while the other came from a healthy branch. Interestingly, the infection was invisible to the naked eye until the leaves died, but photographing RF currents revealed hidden physiological issues. Similarly, early signs of pathologies were detectable in apples, tobacco, and grapes. This phenomenon wasn't exclusive to plants, as the electrical photographs of unhealthy human organs differed from those of healthy ones. Furthermore, the subject's nervous system activity imprints against the panorama of electrical fields. When a subject consumed a glass of wine, the Kirlians promptly noted the alterations in the discharge patterns. Eventually, a man named Alexei Krivoritov approached the Kirlians, eager to explore the force emanating from his body. He had discovered his ability to heal through the ancient art of laying on of hands. For instance, when a patient with back pain would consult him, Krivoritov concentrated, entered a trance, and extended his hands. Patients often reported feeling a warming energy radiating from him, similar to a hot compress lingering on the distressed area. Kirlian connected Krivoritov to the RF circuit and observed his finger under a microscope. Both he and Kirlian were astonished to see the magnetic filaments cascading from Krivoritov's skin. These amoebae formed glowing patterns, merging and splitting like a fiery spectacle. Pulling back from the microscope, Krivoritov examined his finger and found nothing visible, but looking again revealed a mesmerizing display of orange, violet, and blue stars. "This change in your electrical state is unsettling," Kirlian explained. "Your skin is mirroring the internal bioelectric process. So a person's moods and thoughts can affect the composition of their electromagnetic field, or aura." The two embarked on weeks of experiments with both the magician and Kirlian as subjects. Krivoritov would hover his hands near Kirlian's head, pouring forth this warm magnetic energy. They remained silent during the experiments, refraining from eye contact, to avoid the implication of hypnotic suggestion. Kirlian felt an intense sensation throughout the night, akin to his head being on fire. He pondered the potential origins of this energy, since Krivoritov seemed far from being a living generator, and he himself claimed no fatigue during the process. The following day, Kirlian captured images of both of their fingers in the high-frequency field. The luminescence danced around their biological forms, though both fingers shared an electric charge. Why did Krivoritov's touch evoke warmth? Kirlian examined the skin's dielectric properties on Krivoritov's hands, noting that their resistance was 3 to 5 times higher than normal. Such properties can arise in individuals with rough, dry skin due to physical labor, yet Krivoritov's palms were soft and pink, like those of an infant. Kirlian also noted that the magician rubbed azocerite or paraffin wax on his hands as part of his preparation to enter the healing trance. This increased his hands' electrical resistance. Kirlian concluded that the healing mechanism of the magician operates like this. Every person in the Earth's electrostatic field holds a negative charge. Krivoritov's palms, like dielectric gloves, can induce a potential. During healing, the patient's electricity excites equal but opposite positive charges on the glove. An electrical field develops between the skin, intensifying as their proximity decreases. Electrons and ions in the air gap move towards the photoelectrodes, positive toward the patient, negative toward Krivoritov. This ion flux warms the afflicted organ, thus stimulating recovery. When the magician demonstrates his healing ability, observers notice a rise in body temperature around 5 degrees Celsius. This warm sensation lingers even from a distance of 5 to 10 centimeters between his hands and the patient. This suggests that ion bombardment, which can only operate at millimeter distances, isn't the culprit. The implications are puzzling. The practice of healing through the laying on of hands is far more intricate than it seems. Despite this, electromagnetic science has revealed much. Kirlian himself attempted to enter a trance state like Krivoritov to replicate the phenomenon, but to no avail. The effect one individual has on another across a distance remains an enigma. Professor P. Pulyov from Leningrad University evidenced that our bodies generate and perhaps perceive electric fields. The awareness that people can sense electromagnetic fields is old news. This raises an intriguing question. Does the magician modify the patient's information processes or senses through the ether? Exploring these questions requires deeper investigation. The CIA declassified this document alongside others relating to psi phenomena, linking them to their remote viewing program. Is this a massive, pointless expenditure of taxpayer money? Why conceal articles of what some would deem pseudoscience? I find that hard to believe. The CIA has also released documents discussing the holographic nature of reality. They possess classified information regarding consciousness, matter, and energy relationships. It suggested that energy has intelligence and that these intelligent energy fields encapsulate our reality, essentially painting existence as a manifestation of consciousness. Could consciousness be the permeating force that Kirlian described? Might this explain why mood and beliefs radically alter its nature? Is this the hidden key to consciousness phenomenon like remote viewing operating beyond the body? These ideas have merged into a discipline referred to as psychotronics within the declassified files. These documents assert that modern science has neglected consciousness despite it being foundational to existence. They claim that Western scientists present a two-dimensional view, reducing the phenomenon of existence to mere physical and chemical terms. This field of psychotronics proposes that consciousness is easily understood through a complex web of electromagnetic fields. It argues that consciousness exists as a virtual physical quantity and a virtual energy, and thus is a virtual time-space. Unexplored wonders await within its exploration. Some even claim that through studying consciousness and the ether, we could extract this energy, and that this energy is limitless. I can think of many individuals, governments, corporations, who wouldn't want the masses to have access to free and limitless energy. I suspect that you can too. But what are your thoughts on this? Does it read like fiction? Are genuine scientific breakthroughs being concealed from us? Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment to let me know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like if this resonated with you and subscribe for more content like this.